I spent over $1,000 on Armory Stars this year to answer one question. Is the Armory Pass actually worth it in 2026? At just $16 for a shot at some insane skins, it sounds like a pretty good deal. But after opening thousands of stars, my actual returns were painful. So today, I'll show you exactly how the Armory Pass works, the fastest way to earn stars, and my real results, so you can decide whether it's worth your money. If you're unfamiliar with the Armory Pass, you start by making a donation to Gaben's luxury yacht fund. I mean buying one for $15.99. From there, playing on official Valve servers earns XP and gradually awards up to 40 stars per pass. You can spend those stars in the Armory store on active collections, save them for later, or buy another pass and keep building your balance. Stars never expire, and there's no time limit to finish a pass. At about $16 for 40 stars, each one effectively costs 40 cents. That means at current redemption prices, you're paying 40 cents per sticker, 80 cents per case, $1.20 per charm, and $1.60 per skin. Limited edition items can cost considerably more. There is a trick, however, to reduce the price of the pass by up to 30%, but I'll share that later on. SkinSwap is giving you a skin worth up to $50 entirely for free when you complete your first trade using the link in the description. If you want to upgrade your loadout, you can trade your skins for brand new ones in just a few clicks. Plus, their market tab now includes the cheapest offers from Chinese marketplaces, so you can access the best skin prices without needing a Chinese ID or bank account. You can deposit using card, Cash App, or crypto, and if you ever want to cash out, SkinSwap makes it easy with instant sell to PayPal, Venmo, or crypto. They also run free daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways, and every completed trade earns you extra chances to win. Use the link below to claim your free skin with up to $50 and receive a 3% lifetime sales bonus. Thanks again to SkinSwap for supporting the channel. For now, what's the fastest way to actually earn stars? You can earn XP through all official game modes. However, Deathmatch, Casual, Retakes, and Arms Race are score-based, meaning your XP depends on individual performance. Premier, Competitive, and Wingman are round-based, so it's entirely dependent on how many rounds you win. Both formats can have advantages, but we'll get to that shortly. For leveling up your account and receiving your weekly care package, XP is calculated by multiplying your base XP according to these tiers. However, these weekly bonuses do not apply to the Armory Pass. Instead, every 300 base XP earns one Armory Star, so completing an entire pass requires 12,000 XP total. If you're running multiple passes, stars can be earned simultaneously, so each 300 XP could award up to 5 stars. But how long does it actually take to reach 12,000 XP? For the round-based modes, Premier and Competitive award 30 XP per round 1, while Wingman awards 15. So a 13 round win earns 390 XP, compared to just 135 for a Wingman win. Of course, you're not winning every match. Most players probably sit somewhere between a 40 and 60% win rate. I personally had 53% last season, so we'll just use 50% for the calculations. We'll also assume on the losses you're reaching something like 8 rounds. That might be generous, as my spinbot losses tend to look more like 13-2, but I digress. At roughly 30 minutes per match, that gives us 1 win and 1 loss per hour, a total of 630 XP. At that pace, completing a pass would take roughly 19 hours of gameplay, excluding queue times. Wingman is considerably slower, using the same 50% win rate, 4 rounds won in each loss, and roughly 20 minutes per match. You're looking at around 41 hours to complete a pass. For the performance-based modes, the XP is calculated according to these score multipliers. Deathmatch and Arms Race also have XP caps, which Valve reduced back in May. Here I'm assuming you hit the max score in Deathmatch and Arms Race, and then try to use a realistic average score for good players in Casual and Retakes. As you can see, Deathmatch clearly comes out ahead, and is probably the most bearable if you're grinding for hours. Always keep in mind though that you must finish the match to receive your Armory credits, and it needs to be a prime match. Also, your weekly mission XP doesn't count, since it's considered another bonus rather than base XP. So, comparing every method, Premier and Competitive appear fastest overall, although your results will vary depending on how many rounds you actually win and how long the matches last. Deathmatch could be more consistent, but grinding it for hours probably isn't sustainable for most people. Realistically, you'd probably mix the two. So splitting the difference, I'd estimate around 23 hours to complete 1 Armory Pass. But now that we know how much time it takes to grind the stars, the bigger question is, what are those stars actually worth? CSROI is a great free tool for checking current return rates. It takes the market value of every possible drop, multiplies it by its odds, and calculates the theoretical average return over an infinite sample size. Right now, the results aren't pretty. As you can see, none of the Armory collections are anywhere close to 100% ROI, which would be our break-even point. For comparison, even the best weapon cases, while still negative, currently offer significantly higher returns. But even these numbers can be misleading. Let's take a look at the Spy Tech collection for instance, which currently has the highest ROI of the skin collections. Around 37% of its expected returns come from the covert skins alone, with a further 26% from the classifieds. The problem is, if you're only redeeming 1 or 2 passes, your chances of hitting either are absolutely tiny. Remove the coverts and classifieds, and your expected ROI collapses to just 15%. Of course, you can always get lucky, just like cases, souvenir packages, or capsules, there's a chance of hitting the jackpot, but the odds here are brutal. An Armory covert is roughly 1 in 781, making it about twice as rare as pulling a knife from a case. Even a classified is only 1 in 156.4, the same odds as pulling a covert from a case. Historically though, redemptions haven't always been this bad. The Sport and Field collection, for example, spent a majority of its lifetime in the green, but over the last few months, market conditions have shifted dramatically, and that's made the Armory a very different proposition. Skin collections aren't the only place to spend your stars though. If we take a look at the price graph of the Fever case, you'll see that it reached $1.52 on Steam back in October, nearly double its redemption cost. It's also broken the $1 mark several times this year, and unlike skins, there's no luck involved. You redeem a case directly, so with the right timing, they could offer up a more consistent flip. Another popular strategy is to hoard stars, and then spend them immediately when new collections release. In the past, the Armory has seen rotations roughly every 6 months, often replacing 2 to 4 active collections. The problem is, the most recent rotation was heavily delayed, giving players far more time to stockpile stars. When the new collections finally dropped, Day 1 redemptions did not turn out as expected. Hundreds of thousands of skins flooded the market almost immediately, crushing prices. And I learned that the hard way. I spent over 1,000 stars on the new Spy Tech and Arabesque collections, 261 total redemptions. I didn't pull a single classified, so after spending $417 on passes, I got back just $111. Not great. Just last week, I spent another $80 on passes, spending 200 more stars on the new collections. I got 1 purple amongst a sea of industrials, and got back just $13. An ROI of 16%. I'm giving away the brand new Glock Ghost Protocol in field tested this month. For your chance to win, simply like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. I'll pick the winner August 31st. Good luck. So what do I think? Is the Armory Pass worth it in 2026? If you already play CS2 a lot, you're willing to be patient, and luck is on your side, there are chances to come out ahead. As we've seen, redemption ROIs can sometimes exceed 100%, although remember you'll lose 15% to Steam fees, or receive even less if you want to cash out through a third-party marketplace. If you're just doing it for fun, like opening a few cases with friends, the Armory can scratch that itch. However, for most people buying just 1 or 2 passes, the odds are stacked heavily against you. Chances are you'll end up with a bunch of field-tested industrials and lose most of what you spent. At the end of the day, the Armory wasn't designed to make us money. It was designed to make Valve money. That doesn't mean it can never be profitable, but recently, oversupply and delayed rotations have crushed prices, making the value proposition considerably worse. The goal is to invest in CS2 skins. I'd much rather buy them directly through a third-party marketplace. You'll save yourself money and about 23 hours of getting destroyed by spin botters. With that said, if you do want to buy Armory passes and try your luck, there is a way to immediately improve results by reducing your costs by up to 30%. If you want to learn exactly how this Steam balance boost method works, check out this video next. Thanks so much for watching, and take care.